My favorite overall play in tonight's matchup between the Denver Broncos and the Chiefs is going to be Harrison Butker over 1.5 field goals made. And in this video, we're going to break down exactly why, along with 5 other sharp plays. If you guys are brand new to this channel, welcome. We teach you all you need to know about plus EV betting. Plus EV betting just means profitable sports betting. There's many strategies to become a profitable sports bettor, but specifically in this video, we're going to teach you exactly about the correlation strategy and how you guys can make money in the long run by just simply correlating plays. And do not worry, if you guys don't know what correlation is or even how to implement the strategy, we're going to go through every single step that you guys need to know in this video. And more importantly, we're going to be crafting together a PrizePicks slip that's going to correlate all these plays together and make you a profitable sports bettor in the long run. But before diving into this more advanced strategy called correlation, we're first going to go over the basics on what the payout structure is like here on PrizePicks, Underdog, Parlay Play, and Jock Market. They are all called fixed payout platforms because they do not alter their payouts based on the combination of players that you put into your slips. So let's go ahead and just go through a couple of examples just to show you guys and implement the strategy of correlation within these slips. So like I said, you can pair any type of combination of players that you want, and the payouts never change. You're always going to be paid out the exact same with a couple of exceptions, which we'll break down later in this video. But for instance, if I wanted to play NHL and I were to take this player who I've never heard of and another play, guys, I'm not an NHL fan, so I don't know any of these players, so don't make fun of me in the comment section. But 2 NHL players, we'll go over to League of Legends, we'll select this person, CS2, CSGO, whatever, MMA play we'll take. And if we take the over or under, it does not matter the combination of these props, you're always going to get 25x for 6 out of 6, you're going to get 2x for 5 out of 6, and then you're also going to get 0.4x back, so 0.4x of your money back for getting 4 out of 6 correct. And keep in mind that these payouts will never change, right? You need to hammer that into your heads because this is completely different from a traditional sports book like FanDuel, like DraftKings, where they alter the payouts based on the likelihood that these players are going to go over or under their player props. And they do this by assigning some sort of price point for these player props to go over or under. Whereas on PrizePicks, they weight the players the exact same depending on the type of slip that you're putting in, right? So for a 6 out of 6 PrizePicks slip, you'll always get the exact same payout. Now, the way that these sports books make their money is that they tax on an additional amount on each specific player prop, otherwise known as VIG or juice. That's more of an advanced topic. If you guys want to check that out, I have a bunch of tutorial videos on our YouTube channel that goes over what juice and VIG is. Head over to our DFS 101 playlist if you want to learn more about that. But all you guys need to know is that there is a break-even percentage for each one of these fixed payout slips on PrizePicks, on Underdog, and all these other fixed payout platforms. And we need to figure out what these implied odds are behind each individual leg for these slip types to really understand what that break-even percentage is going to be. So right here I have in front of me the math behind each individual slip here at the very bottom of my sheet that I've made a while ago. And I talk about this pretty much every video, but we need to find the break-even percentage for each individual leg, the average break-even percentage for each leg, to really nail down why correlation presents such an advantageous strategy for these fixed payout platforms. So right here I have in front of you the break-even percentage for a 6-man slip. Let's hypothetically say I'm a normal sports bettor. The normal sports bettor hits at a 50% prop rate. And this is how PrizePicks makes their money, because if you're hitting each individual leg at a 50% hit rate, you're not going to break even. And PrizePicks knows this. They know a majority of their sports bettors are going to be average sports bettors, 99% of them, right? And if they're only hitting at 50% of a hit rate, then they're not going to win money long term, and they're going to be donating to the sports books or these fixed payout platforms. So if I'm hitting at a 50% rate for a 6-man flex slip, my ROI is negative. But let's take this up a notch. Let's say I'm hitting at a 52% hit rate, right? No, I'm still losing money in the long term. But what if I hike this thing up to, let's say, 54%? Still not breaking even. And I only know this because I've done this a million times. The break-even percentage is going to be 54.21%, and you need to have that average hit rate per leg to break even. And this is the true percent odds to hit, right? So behind each individual leg on PrizePicks is some hidden implied odds, right? And that break-even percentage is 54.21%, which equates to a calculated fair odds percent of minus 118.38%. which are that's the fair odds American odds line that you need to break even in on each individual leg. That doesn't mean implied odds of over -119. That means fair odds. And there's a huge difference between the two. So like implied odds of like -135 to -140 or greater would be pretty close to a fair odds percentage of -118. It really depends on the book because each book has different hidden implied odds behind all their lines, hidden juice rather. So anyway, that's more advanced. All you guys need to know that in order to break even in a 5-flex slip, you need to hit each individual leg at an average rate of over 54.21%. And hopefully that makes sense. Because what we're doing here is we're saying, hey, if we're hitting at a 54% clip on each individual leg, this is the percent chance we'll hit 0 of 6, 1 of 6, 2 of 6, and then it goes all the way up here. So really, as long as you are hitting at a 54% rate or higher, you're really only going to break even, or you're really only going to hit 2.54% plus of the time. So this is really playing the long-term game. So bankroll management is absolutely key when playing the strategy. And let's say like the legs are up here at 50%. We're really only going to hit 6 of 6, 4.67% of the time, which is freaking insane. It just goes to show you how hard this really is to remain a profitable sports bettor on these DFS apps, but you really have to be strategic about selecting your strategies and your plays, and we're going to break that down here in just a second. So now that we know the break-even percentage for each individual leg, we need to find basically the individual hit rates. Like what is the hidden edge here behind each one of these legs? And we can really only know that by comparing market knowledge because all these sports books set their lines independently, and they start to shift to one specific, line, a price tag, right? American odds line. And once we know those individual leg, hit rates, those implied odds, we can then start to build out and start creating organic edges, right? Or you can take it a step further and start correlating plays and see how that the correlation itself affects these individual leg hit rate percentages. So let's talk through this. We started out with Harrison Butker over 1.5 field goals made. And how does that positively affect other players within that game is the mindset that we should have, right? What I'm using is called the DGFantasy correlation tool. And this shows you the highest correlated combos and the most profitable overall slips by showing you the highest correlation between individual players within this game. And the reason why this presents an edge, because if we can find an organic edge of higher than 54.21% per each individual leg, then this is going to break even on PrizePicks because payouts never change. The payouts will never change off of that 6 out of 6, 25x, and then the insurance, right? So we're looking at fair odds of over 54.21%. But if we can bring up those individual leg hit rates of higher than that by organically correlating these plays, that is the true edge. And just to show you here, if you were a sports bettor and you started taking every single correlated slip recommended on this tool, this is complete transparency, on August 18th, you'd be up over 331 units, which is $33,000 for a $100 bettor. I know that a majority of you aren't $100 sports bettors, but even $5 bettors would be up over thousands of dollars, which is, it shows you the true edge here in correlation. And this is no BS. Like this is the true edge right now for fixed payout platforms like PrizePicks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the correlated slip from tonight. And let's go over why this is heavily correlated and why it's giving you a profit margin of 51.92%. Usually profit margins are higher, but again, the correlation tool is scanning the entire market for individual plus EV edges and then correlating those combos and then finding the highest correlated ones based on those individual legs. And what's really cool is I literally just clicked the refresh button to make sure that all these props were available because the Russell Wilson over 1 passing touchdowns just got removed. And the correlation tool adapts to all that information. If the prop is removed, if it's bumped, it's going and finding those profit margins and recommending the highest profit margin slip. So it literally just changed right before my eyes. Still, Harrison Butker over 1.5 field goals made is in this slip. Now let's go over to the next correlation combos. We have Patrick Mahomes over 0.5 interceptions, and then we have Travis Kelce under touchdowns. The casuals are going to hate this slip. So we have Travis Kelce under touchdowns, and then we have Patrick Mahomes over interceptions. So what we're doing, just based on the game script, I haven't looked at the rest of the slip, but it looks like Harrison Butker kicking a lot of field goals, stalling in the red zone here, Travis Kelce going under touchdowns, which means there's not as many touchdowns as we expect in this game, with Patrick Mahomes throwing more interceptions. So hopefully the Kansas City Chiefs, hopefully their offense kind of stalls in the red zone, which again, these are all correlated to go along with that game script. But let's see if that matches up with the rest of the slip that this correlation tool recommends. Russell Wilson under passing plus rushing yards. We're recommending the under on Wilson, so also having not the best game. And then the over on punters. So those are heavily correlated with this game script that we have that's just lacking offense in general. And that can happen. You know, the Chiefs don't always have to go out and score a great amount of points. We've seen them stall many times in the season. But anyway, this is the highest correlated combo slip as of right now, given the amount of props on the board and their individual plus EV edges. For instance, I know that Riley Dixon is set to 5 punts on parlay play, so it's a little bit softer over here. Anyway, this is the best correlated slip as of right now, and the correlation tool is always updating to give you individual slips, while guaranteeing that we have a profit margin on every single recommended slip. And as you can see here, in this slip, the payouts did not change. They're not altered here. 25x for 6 out of 6, 2x for 5 out of 6, and then also 0.4x, get some of your money back for getting 4 out of 6. And that is why there's a true edge. But I want to show you guys a better slip. Right now, there's just overall softer, more aggressive props here on an app called Parlay Play. And the reason I know this is because if I scroll up here to the top, I got excited. I saw the Denver Broncos Kansas City Chiefs game. This is a 209.96 profit margin with a 91.24 correlation score out of 100, so it's very correlated. If you guys have not signed up for Parlay Play yet, be sure to use code DGF for a 100% match up to $100. We're going to go ahead and reveal the slip here. And it looks like we're also rooting for lack of offense in this game as well. But as you can see, very heavy correlation here with more aggressive props here on these receivers. So I'll go ahead and just throw in the slip now. And essentially all we're hoping for tonight is that the defenses show up, guys. I mean, that can happen. Anything can happen on Thursday Night Football, as we've seen many times. But that's it, guys. If you guys haven't used code DGF for 100% matchup to $100 on Parlay Play, be sure to do so. Make sure this slip is all in a 40x, because we're going for that heavy correlated sweep, right? If it's 0 for 6, it's just as good as 6 is 6. We're just looking for a sweep in general. We're playing to that game script and these plus EV edges here on these individual legs. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please do hit that subscription button, notification bell, and of course, smash that like button for all of our future NFL content. With all that being said, have a great rest of your day, and let's cash.